This is Minakshi, and welcome back to another episode of Corporate Law Updates by the Corporate Law Journal. In today's session, we'll be dealing with SEBI, MCA, and RBI. So let's move on to the latest updates by Securities and Exchange Board of India. SEBI on 13th October issued a circular regarding the standardization of procedure to be followed by debenture trustees in case of default by issuers of listed debt securities. This circular prescribes the process to be followed by the debenture trustees in case of default, including seeking consent from the investors for enforcement of security and or entering into an intercreditor agreement in the manner of calling event of default shall be reckoned by the ISIN level as all terms and conditions of issuance of security are same under a single ISIN as well as multiple ISINs. The process for consent of enforcement of security and entering into an intercreditor agreement in requiring the consent of the investors in the ICA resolution plan involving restructuring, including rollover debt securities, is provided in this circular. The signing of the ICA and agreeing to the resolution plan is in the interest of investors and in compliance with the Companies Act 2013 and other applicable rules, and the conditions are mentioned in this circular. The circular is to come into force with immediate effect from the date of issue. Another circular was issued by SEBI on 19th October pertaining to the utilization of fund created out of the regulatory fee foregone by SEBI. In order to encourage the participation of farmers producer organizations in agricultural CDM, the stock exchanges have created a separate fund, and the stock exchanges were permitted to use this fund exclusively for the participation of farmers in agricultural derivative market in accordance with the circular dated March 2019. The low participation due to the pandemic left the sizable funds unutilized. Based on the recommendations of the CDM Advisory Committee, SEBI has decided to allow the usage of these funds in the following manner: reimbursement of mandi tax, reimbursement of assaying, cleaning, drying, sorting, storage, and transportation charges, incentivizing option premium, reimbursement of fees levied by clearing corporation, and all the other provisions of the circular dated March 2019 shall continue to remain in force. Now moving ahead to the Ministry of Corporate Affairs. The ministry issued a notification on 16th October introducing an amendment to the company's prospectus and allotment of securities rules of 2014. The said amendment will be called as the company's prospectus and allotment of securities rules 2020 and shall be effective wherein published in the official gazette. It shall now suffice if the company passes a prior special resolution once in a year for all the allotments in case of offer or invitation to qualified institutional buyers. That was the only notification issued by MC in the last week. Now let's go ahead with the Reserve Bank of India. RBI issued a notification on October 12th regarding the revised limit for risk weight in regulatory retail portfolio. The statement on developmental policies dated October 9, 2020 is about the time for regulatory retail portfolio. The claims included in this portfolio will be assigned a risk weight of 75%. In order to reduce the cost of credit for the segment consisting of individuals and small businesses and to harmonize with the Basel guidelines for the above threshold limit which has been set of Rs 5 crores and for aggregated retail exposure to a counterparty will be increased to 7.5 crore rupees by this circular. The risk weight of 75% will apply to all fresh exposures and also to existing exposures. The other exposures shall continue to attract the normal risk weights as per the guidelines. Another notification was issued by the Reserve Bank on October 12th regarding the SLR holdings in HTM category. The HTM limit is to be restored to 19.5% in a phased manner beginning from the quarter and ending by June 30, 2022. With the approval of BOD, banks may shift investments from HTM once a year, and such shifting will normally be allowed at the beginning of an accounting year. In order to enable banks to shift their excess SLR securities from the HTM category to AFS or HTF, then there is a decision to allow such shifting of the excess securities during the quarter in which the HTM ceiling is brought down. This would be in addition to the shifting permitted at the beginning of the accounting year. Now moving on to another notification released by RBI on October 13th regarding the extension of time for Banking Regulation Act 1949. In between the pandemic, the Reserve Bank issued a notification declaring that the provisions of Section 31, read with Clause T of Section 56 of the Act, will not apply to primary cooperative banks till December 31st, 2020. The UCBs will ensure submission of the returns to the RBI or on before December 31st, 2020. The RBI extends the period for furnishing of the returns under Section 31 of the Act for the financial year ended on March 31st, 2020 by a further period of 3 months. All state cooperative banks and central cooperative banks shall ensure submission of the returns to RBI and NABARD on or before December 31st, 2020. Now let's go to the last notification released by RBI on October 16th, 2020, pertaining to the rationalization of risk weights for individual housing loans. The capital charge for claims secured by residential property falling under the category of individual housing loans has been assigned differential risk weights based on the size of the loan as well as the loan to value ratio in the previous notification. Through this notification, it has been decided to rationalize the risk weights irrespective of the amount, these risk weights to be sanctioned till March 31st, 2022. Requirement of standard asset provision of 0.25% shall continue to apply on all such loans. That will be all for today's session. And guys, please don't forget to like, comment, share and subscribe for more latest updates from the corporate world. Thank you.